The movie starts and we see a pregnant lady named Natalia, and only then her delivery time has come and she is helped by Natalia and Alina is also with her. Natalia's health starts deteriorating, and her mother immediately takes her to the hospital, but it is late at night, so there are not many doctors available in the hospital, but there is a nurse who delivers her and Natalia's child is born, but everyone sees her as a child. Many are shocked and upset because those people could not believe what they were seeing, because as soon as the child is born, it starts freeing in the air. Natalia is also very surprised to see this and she goes to her mother. She says that yes, an angel child has been born to us, but the mother is a wise and experienced lady and they understand that the child is now normal and it happens that the child is born without gravity. Those people are very well protected people and leave the foreign hospital while the nurse is explaining to them that it is not time for their life yet, but they do not listen to her and go to their home. When they go home, Talia's mother asks her a strange question. She asks you to remember who you are to this child, but Atreya can't remember who you are to her child. Then his mother, she tells him that this is not a normal child and we should keep this a secret, and if anyone comes to know about this, then we may have to face a lot of trouble. Then they select the name of the child, then he is named Oscar. And Oscar was not really a normal child because it was very difficult to handle him. When they left him alone, he used to stick to the cloth and he used to stick to fear, so that the child remains on the ground, and they also make cloth very soft and lightweight so that the child does not get hurt, because they were also afraid that if they left it alone, it would fly in the air. Oscar is too conscious to tell the story in space, and his grandmother and his mother take great care of him. Then over time, Oscar begins to grow up, but he is relieved at home that his grandmother does not know him to be deaf. While staying at home, he mostly used to watch Superman cartoons on TV and he himself used to imagine that he is also a superhero. Then Oscar asks Talia why they don't let him go outside, but they ignore his words. Oscar was relieved to see people outside the window many times and also saw children like myself who were going to school and had seen children playing with desires and free life very much. He used to think that he might be imprisoned here forever. Then one day Oscar tries to kill himself out of the house window, but his grandmother sees him and she is very angry. After seeing this incident, his grandmother Sari sells the windows and tells Oscar that he will never go out of this house or go to school like those kids, and Oscar's help gets very angry hearing that he is staying at home and says, how long will we keep him in this prison? One day he has to go out. Oscar's help has brought him a jacket, in whose pocket she keeps 2 stones so that he can't fly away. She doesn't listen to her mother and she takes Oscar there, and along with it she also tells Oscar that she did not tell her secret to anyone like Superman, otherwise she will never become Superman. One day Oscar goes to purchase some society with his mother and there's a girl, the girl's name is Agata Hoda. Samaj falls down from her hand and she screams a lot at Oscar and gives 2 water bottles to Oscar. Now your punishment is that you will take it with me to my house. But Oscar refuses for this but agrees if she consumes him a lot, and without informing his mother, he leaves her with the child. Now Oscar has 2 heavy bottles in his hand and stones in his pocket. Because of this he is feeling very heavy. He takes out both the stones from his pocket and throws them. Without telling him, he goes with the girl. Now Oscar has 2 heavy bottles in his hand and he also has stones in his pocket, due to which he is feeling very heavy. He takes out both the stones from his pocket and throws them away. Without telling him, he goes with the girl. Now Oscar has 2 heavy bottles in his hand and he also has stones in his pocket, because of which he is feeling very heavy. He takes out both the stones from his pocket and throws them away. Cast reaches her home and she asks Oscar for water bottles, but Oscar refuses to give the water bottle because he knows that if he gives this water bottle to him, he will fly into the air because he does not understand unity. She takes the bottle from Oscar as soon as she washes it and takes it, it flies in the air. There are many bands all around the place, so Oscar does not lift it very high. It is said that Oscar asks for help from him. Hearing this, he rushes to his room and brings a pink-colored bag of his own which is India with stones, and his idea was to keep these stones in his pocket, which was a good idea of his. The plane turns out to be good and Oscar comes down. They become close friends and tells Oscar that you promise to keep this a secret and will not tell anyone, and on the other side Oscar, due to his disappearance, his mother and his grandmother are very upset. After meeting, Oscar goes home with the bag that Ekta had given him and tells his mother. Then with her help she asks whether you have told the story to your secret, but he lies with his help that I have not told the story. They used to meet each other till the day. One day Oscar's help comes to know that she knows him and Raj is elder. Then after this day his mother does not allow him to meet the actor. Ekta had given it to him. He goes home and tells his mother. Then she asks with his help that you have not told the story to your secret, but he lies with his help that I did not tell the story. They keep meeting each other till day. One day Oscar's help comes to know that she knows him and Raj is elder. Then after this day his mother does not allow him to meet the actor. Ekta had given it to him. He goes home and tells his mother. Then she asks with his help that you have not told the story to your secret, but he lies with his help that I did not tell the story. They keep meeting each other till day. One day Oscar's assistant comes to know that she knows him and Raj is elder. Then after this day his mother does not allow him to meet the actor. The people around them were singing with loving eyes that maybe Oscar's help and grandmother do a lot with him. That's why she does not allow him to leave the house much and he does not even go to school. The next day the police come to their house and tell them that they sent Oscar to school especially since yesterday and they were forced to send Oscar to school. Then Oscar's mother goes to school with him and they also take care of this. It is known that Oscar is not living a normal life. Then they bring Oscar and his eyes are filled with eyes. His mother understands this whole thing and he decides to leave the house. Then he leaves his house and goes to a faraway place. Many years have passed since Gujar started living at the place. Now Oscar is also young, his mother is very old and his grandmother has died and Oscar is still with him. But even today his way of life was the same, staying at home. His life was running on a secret. Oscar's mother and they used to take care of each other a lot. Oscar was now fed up with his life. He has spent a lot of time hiding this. Then he thinks that if the world comes to know about him, then he will become famous all over the world in a short time like his ideal Mother Superman, and many people will write books on him, but his mother doesn't want anything like this. But with his help she understands that nothing like this should happen because her mother felt that if the world comes to know about this secret then she will give it to him. Then she is patiently lying down for the sake of her mother, but then his patience starts to run out and one day he goes out of the house without telling his mother. Then he goes to a magic show where people's talent is shown and he first goes there to show his talent. He goes away. Then that night the show becomes a hit and his mother also watches this show. The man whose name is David gets it, and in now the man is a content agent. He tells Oscar that I can help you become famous. We will do a lot of big things, so that you will become famous. Then he gives Oscar a very big gives a house where he can sleep and also makes him sign a contract because Oscar also wanted to be famous. Both of them have shown their performance by going to many big shows and overnight Oscar also becomes a famous personality, and later in this, Oscar is named Dima without gravity. Those people have enjoyed a lot in their work and they have also made a lot of money. But then one day Oscar gets the release of what he dreamed. I had seen in childhood that Superman became not a superhero, but he has become a puppet whom people used for their enjoyment, used parachutes and sometimes starts disliking any magic show, although many books have been written on it. There's a lot of magazines, there's a sixth, and some documentaries that present his grandmother and his mother, which Oscar thinks is too big, and then there's a final show, which shows him wearing Angel's Casio, which he thinks is too big. Says that I am not an angel. He gets very angry and starts calling people very good in the show itself. Then he tells his mother that he has decided to leave all this. Then he tells his agent, he says that this was all my work. I am not famous anymore and he will not reduce the mosque. His agent makes him understand that you should not leave it like this. But Oscar would have hanged it all. Hi, he says that he has read 2 books of Mother Without Gravity after going to you guys or got up on the story in the air. Then he also says goodbye to his mother because he wants to live a different life. Dee's mother has died without gravity and many people make various claims on her. Oscar's mother begins to live alone and many visitors keep coming to her house to ask about Oscar's whereabouts, but they don't give anything to those people. Gujars go, but Oscar was still alive. he was living his life with a different lifestyle. And when he started working as a receptionist in a hotel, everyone used to tweet very well with him, and one day his childhood friend Agrita meets him. She recognizes Oscar because of the pink bag which was still with Oscar, which he had given it in his childhood, and because of the bag he stayed on the ground, and he is not even married. He becomes very happy after meeting the other. Her motive became only money. She used to come to the hospital with Kahani mails many times, where Oscar was there. Oscar feels very big seeing this. This time it becomes clear that Oscar has not yet removed her from his heart, and the reason for the change was because she was living life in a lot of sorrows, and Oscar also left her. Gone. Then with time they understand each other and both get married and then start living in this house where they used to live in childhood, and movie here and there.